This Utah Jazz team is going to be so much better than the league realizes. Let's talk about why. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, make sure, and if you're on the podcast, make sure and give a review. I got to make sure I keep posting these to the podcast. I keep forgetting. So thank you to all of those on the YouTube. Thank you especially to the members and the All-Stars. We got some new All-Stars that we got to get some nicknames for. We're going to have to do a live and do that together. But before we do that, let's get into today's show. And I want to talk about this Utah Jazz team. So we just got finished watching Victor Wembanyama, who was absolutely unreal. It looks like we have the new best player in the NBA solidified, and probably for the next decade, barring injury or anything like that. It's going to be hard to argue anyone over Wembanyama at this point. Does not mean he's not beatable, but man, is it going to be hard. And what it's going to take to beat a team like the San Antonio Spurs, who are looking like the next dynasty coming up, is a team with comparable talent across the board and also versatility. And that is the thing that is going to make this Utah Jazz team so much better than the league realizes. Yes, I have Wizards fans watching right now because right now we're competing with Wizards fans. And some of them, we have created the Jazz Wizards Alliance. And with some of them, we have created the Jazz Wizards rivalry. Regardless, whatever the Wizards do, whether it's draft AJ Dybantsa or Darryn Peterson, Utah and Washington are both coming out with a number one option. A top 10 caliber player, most likely, both. That's what makes this draft crazy. This draft is so crazy, and the reason you can prove that this draft is as good as it is, because Cooper Flagg tried to avoid it. Remember, Cooper Flagg reclassified so that he didn't have to compete with AJ Dybantsa and Darryn Peterson. That's why he was so young coming out last year, is because he reclassified so he didn't have to go up against AJ and DP, right? So Utah winning a top 2 pick is one of the most monumental things that has happened with this Jazz roster and this just Jazz team in team history, arguably. Second to, I mean, the only thing you can compare it to is when the Jazz selected John Stockton in one draft and then the second one, Karl Malone. 2 Hall of Famers in a row, right? Let's hope that happens with this Jazz team with Ace Bailey and either AJ or DP. It doesn't really matter. Both are going to be number one scoring options, and we'll see who ends up becoming the better player. But Utah has now, coming in this draft, their number one scoring option. That's what's crazy about that win, is Utah already has a roster that is going to be in the playoffs. Whether the Jazz won this lottery, whether they made a draft pick or not, it's crazy where we've come as Jazz fans, where we were just hoping to keep our pick for most of last season. And then we come into this draft, win the lottery. We're now going to get a number one scoring option that either it's DP or AJ will develop into a number one guy like we're seeing in this series with SGA and Wembanyama. Now, I don't think either of these players, no matter what, is going to be the caliber of player that Wembanyama is. He looks generational. But I do think that both AJ and Darryn Peterson have the ability to be on the level of SGA. Now, whether they do or don't, we shall see. There's no way to say. One of them may bust. Both of them may bust. Both of them may be first-team All-NBA. We don't know. We will find out. That's the fun part about all of this. But the cool thing for both the Wizards and the Jazz, we can all be happy Wizards fans, is that both have that level of talent. Utah, you know, the edge for Utah over like the Wizards or some of these other teams in the lottery, in fact, pretty much all of them outside of the Thunder themselves at number 12, is that Utah's roster is playoff ready. when you consider that whether it's AJ or Darryn Peterson, they are going to have a backcourt teammate in Keyonte George who looks like he's going to be a potential all-star. At very least, will be all-star caliber if he just plays to the level that he played last year. And I have a hard time seeing him not play at that level, considering that last year he was doing it as the number one option as the focal point of every defense he faced. Now, he'll have Lauri Markkanen on the floor. He'll have Darryn Peterson on the floor, most likely. Jaren Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler is most likely getting signed. And Ace Bailey also, hopefully, will take a leap next year. So, the space and the options will be plentiful, like the salmon of Capistrano, right? It's going to be incredible for Keyonte George. And just like for Keyonte George, Jaren Jackson Jr. and Lauri Markkanen all game long are going to be getting matchup. It's just going to be matchup heaven for this Jazz team because all game long they're going to move that ball, find the best option, and then score. I have a really hard time not seeing this Utah Jazz team get to top 3 offensively. It's going to be really hard for me not to see that, especially if it's Darryn Peterson. I think Darryn Peterson is the more NBA-ready player than AJ, although AJ is going to be incredible as well. I think there's a few things in AJ's game that just have to develop, but I do think that AJ, considering his size and athleticism, probably has a little bit of edge when it comes to upside. But both have a chance to be MVP caliber guys. It's incredible the stroke of luck the Jazz have. So anyway, surrounding AJ or Darryn Peterson will be Keyonte George handling the ball. By the way, anyone who says the playmaking is going to be an issue for the Jazz, lest we forget that Keyonte George, go to Basketball Reference. I'm not going to do it right now, but you can believe me. Go to Basketball Reference last season for Keyonte George. He was averaging 9 assists per game the first 5 to 10 games when he was playing pure point guard with Lauri Markkanen. Right? 9 assists per game, almost 10 actually. Keyonte George as a point guard is phenomenal, and that's what we found out last year, and he's going to do the same thing this year. The open passes, the guys knocking down shots, I have a hard time seeing him not average at least 7 assists per game. 6-7 assists per game just by playing 32 minutes and doing what he did last year. And then he's going to have open shots, and he's so good at drawing fouls that he's going to be scoring at a highly efficient level. Lauri Markkanen is going to have many open shots, many advantages on one-on-ones near the basket. Many of them. The same with Jaren Jackson Jr. There are going to be times where they're going to get the ball, and it's going to be ridiculous. And when you consider the fact that they're going to run pick and rolls with those guys, and Walker Kessler is going to be playing in the dunker spot, and then can just do offensive rebounding, alley-oops, putbacks, the Jazz are going to be an absolute nightmare to guard. But what makes this Jazz team even more exciting is the versatility of Jaren Jackson Jr. That move is going to come off so well next year. Because you watched what happened tonight with the Victor Wembanyama Spurs against this Oklahoma City Thunder team. They went with kind of a smaller lineup with Chet at center and then a wing in Jalen Williams and had guards all over the floor. Utah will be able to do the same thing. They can put, if they need to, Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 5, Lauri at the 4. You put Ace Bailey at the 3, Darryn Peterson or AJ Dybantsa at the 2, and Keyonte George at the 1, and you've got yourself a 5-out death lineup, the caliber of the Death Star in Star Wars. This is a fully functioning, operating system that is going to destroy planets, destroy teams, destroy dreams. That is what this Utah Jazz team is going to do next year, and I'm excited to watch it. And the NBA is not ready for it. I think Utah has a chance to make the second round of the playoffs, if not the Western Conference Finals next season. Barring injury, it's going to happen. And I'm honestly hoping for Darryn Peterson because he's ready to go. He is going to have the shot-making ability of SGA sooner than people think. He is an absolute assassin. He is the Michael Myers that is joining this Utah Jazz team. You can't kill him. And one thing that I want to remind people about Darryn Peterson, he got bad-mouthed all last season by his own fans even at Kansas. The guy scored 20-plus points per game on historical efficiency, and that was with the injury. If that is not Michael Myers coming out and killing people, absolutely, no matter what you do, you cannot put him down. He's still going to score 24 with elite efficiency. It's going to be good. It's going to be Michael Myers. Cue the Halloween music. It's going to happen. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm fired up. I'll talk to you next time.